Hello friends, myself Rasmita Jena, lecturer in Computer Science, CUN College, Padaspur. So today I am going to discuss the rest part of the functional dependency and normal form relational schema. So in earlier video, we already discussed about first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, and I am just recalling you all these normal forms. So first normal form disallows multi-valued and composite attributes. Second normal form says it is in first normal form and it disallows no partial dependency, and in third normal form a relation schema is in second NF and it not allowed the transitive dependency, or there is no transitive dependency in the relation schema. So today I am also discussing on third normal form. Then the stronger form of the third normal form will also be discussed, that is your Boy coded normal form or BCNF. Then we have to discuss the multi-value dependency and fourth normal form, and joint dependency and fifth normal form, and the types of decomposition, that is lossless dependencies and your dependency preservations. So let us discuss on third normal form and BCNF first. So according to Court's original definition, a relation schema R is in third NF if it satisfies second NF and no non-prime attribute of R is transitively depend on the primary key. As we already discussed, no non-prime attribute can determine by another non-prime attribute. In very shortly, I like to explain it, that is area is a non-prime attribute and price is also a non-prime attribute, but price can determine by using area attribute. So here the transitive dependency is hold, and we can also explain another example, that is a relation schema R is in third normal form if whenever a non-trivial functional dependency hold, that is A depends upon X is a non-trivial dependency, when A is a subset of X, then it is a trivial. If it is not a subset of X, then it is a non-trivial. So if there is a non-trivial dependency holds in R, either X is a super key of R, that means in the relation schema there is a non-trivial dependency and A is a super key of R, or B is a prime attribute, then third NF hold. So we can explain it using one example. In the lots relation schema, the attributes are property ID, country name, lots, area and price. Suppose here price is transitively depend on each of the candidate key of lots via the non-prime attribute area. This will be explained by using the example. Suppose here a dependency hold in between area and price attribute, that means price depends upon area. So this is a non-trivial dependency, then we have to check is X is a super key of R, that means area is a super key of the relation lots, or A is a prime attribute of R. If these are hold, then the relation schema is in third NF. If it does not hold, then the relation schema is not in third NF. So first we have to check area is a super key of lots or not. So if area is a super key of lots, then it determine the value of country name or lots or property ID? No, that is why area is not a super key. So first condition is not satisfying, and the second is price is a prime attribute or not. Price is not a prime attribute because it cannot participate for the formation of any key attribute. So both the conditions are not satisfying in the non-trivial dependency, that is in between area and price. So this relation schema is not in third NF. So to convert this relation schema to third NF, we decompose the relation into two relation schema, that is lots 1A and lots 1B. So now you have to check this relation schema is in third NF or not. Suppose a dependency hold in between property ID and area, and this one is a non-trivial dependency because area is not a subset of property ID. Then we have to check property ID is a super key or not, or area is a prime attribute or not. If one of the condition will be hold, then third NF is satisfied. So property ID is a super key because by using property ID we can determine the value of country name, the value of lots or the value of area. So no need to check for the prime attribute because one condition is satisfying, or we can check area is a prime or not. It is clear that area is not a prime attribute because area cannot participate for the formation of any key attribute. So this relation schema is in third NF. Then we have to discuss on BCNF, which is more stronger than third NF, and how it will be stronger we will be discussed on BCNF, that is your Boy coded normal form. That normalization or normal form was introduced by two scientists, that is Boy and Code, and BCNF says what? A relation schema is in BCNF if it is in second NF, and then if a non-trivial dependency is hold, then there is only one condition, that is X must be a supergame. So, this is about your Boy coded normal form, and this Boy coded normal form is more stronger than third NF, and in Boy coded normal form, if a relation schema is in third NF, it is not necessarily the relation schema is in BCNF, but if a relation schema is in BCNF, then that relation schema must be in third NF. And now we have to discuss how a relation schema hold the BCNF normal form conditions. So, see the example. This is the relation schema lots 1 having attribute property ID, country name, lots and area. You can see here the country name attribute depends upon area. This is a non-trivial dependency because country name is not a subset of area. So, now you have to check that area is a super key or not. So, area is not a super key because by using area we cannot calculate the lots or property ID. That is why this relation schema is in third NF but not in BCNF, because the third NF one condition is area be a super key or the country name be a prime attribute. Here you can see the country name is a prime attribute, that is why this is in third NF, but this is not in BCNF because area is not a super key. So, the relation schema is decomposed into two relations, that is property ID, area, lots, that is one relation, and then area and country name, that is another two relation. You can see this relation schema is in BCNF. So, this is all about your third NF and BCNF. Then we have to discuss what is multi-valued dependency and fourth normal form. Let us see what is multi-valued dependency. Then we have to discuss the different inference rules and closure property and how we can evaluate the closure of a particular relation schema. These are the different inference rules for functional dependency. This is also called as the Angstrom's inference rule. There are 6 rules. First one is your reflexive rule. The reflexive rule says if y is a subset equals to of x, then y depends upon x hold. Now, second one is your augmentation rule, that is if y depends upon x, then yz depends upon xz. Third one is your transitive rule, that means if y depends upon x and z depends upon y exists, then z depends upon x hold. Then fourth one is your decomposition or projective rule, if yz depends upon x, then y depends upon x. Then fifth, union or additive rule, y depends upon x and z depends upon x exists, then yz depends upon x hold. Then pseudo transitive rule, if y depends upon x and z depends upon wy, then z depends upon wx hold. These are 6 different inference rule of functional dependencies or Angstrom's rules of inference rules. By using these rules we can calculate closure of a functional dependency. Let us see the closure property of a functional dependency. How we can evaluate the closure of a functional dependency, we can see it. So, first we have to know what is closure property. A set of all those attributes which can be functionally determined from an attribute set is called closure of that attribute set. Here I would like to again repeat this. The set of all those attributes which can functionally determine from attribute set is called as a closure of that attribute set. The closure of attribute set X is denoted by X plus, right. You can see the example. Suppose this is a relation schema having attribute A, B, C, G, H, I in the relation schema and having the functional dependency. Suppose B depends upon A, C depends upon A, and these are the different functional dependencies or set of functional dependencies of the relation schema R. Now, what is the F closure or how I can calculate the closure of the functional dependency F? So this is the procedure how we can calculate it. Now you have to calculate what is F closure or closure of the functional dependency F. You can see here there is a functional dependency B depends upon A and another functional dependency H depends upon B. So by using the inference rule 3, that is transitive rule, we can generate this dependency. Here we can see, suppose B depends upon A and H depends upon B. So transitive, by using transitive rule, H depends upon A can be generated. You can see this is one F closure which are generated from this dependency, that is from B depends upon A and from H depends upon B. Then comes to next, suppose from this dependency, that is C depends upon A, by using second inference rule, that is augmentation rule, here we are augmenting one G in both sides and we get, you can see here in C depends upon A, here we are augmenting a G in the both sides and the dependency became CG depends upon AG. From CG depends upon AG and from I depends upon CG, by using transitive rule 3 we can get I depends upon AG. You can see it from this and from this we get I depends upon AG. Similarly, in the long way, using augmentation and transitive or direct by union between 5 and between H depends upon CG and I depends upon CG, we can generate HI depends upon CG. So these are the 3 F closure, that is H depends upon A, I depends upon AG and HI depends upon CG. So this is the functional dependency set or set of FDs and these are the F closure. So in this way we can calculate closure of a functional dependency. Then we have to discuss the relational decomposition. Relational decomposition is what? When a relation in relational model is not in appropriate normal form, then the decomposition of a relation is required. In database, it breaks the table into multiple tables. That means what? When a relation is not satisfying certain condition, in that case the relation need to be decomposed. That means the relation is decomposed into more than one table. Then if a relation has no proper decomposition, there may lead to problem like lossless information. That means if we not properly decompose the relation schema, then there may be arise some problem. Then next, the decomposition is basically used to eliminate the problem of bad design like the anomalies, like the insertion, updation, deletion anomalies, data duplications. These are arises. In that case, we have to decompose the relation into number of tables. This is about the classification of decomposition. Here the decomposition is classified into two categories, that is lossless decomposition and dependency preserving decomposition. So lossless decomposition is what? When a relation in the relational model is not in appropriate normal form, then the decomposition of a relation is required. That means when a relation is not appropriately appropriate form, then in that case we will be decomposed. Then lossless decomposition and dependency preservation is what? Lossless decomposition means, so in a database it breaks the table into multiple tables, and if the relation has no proper decomposition, then it may lead to problem like lost information or dependency preservation problem. The decomposition is used to eliminate some of the problem of bad design like anomalies and inconsistency and redundancy. Then we have to discuss the types of decomposition. The first one is your lossless decomposition. Lossless decomposition means what? If the information is not lost in the relation, that is decomposed, then the decomposition will be lossless. That means you can see this is one relation. Suppose due to any reason, suppose due to any anomalies or redundancy or inconsistency, we are going to decompose the table, and when we decompose the table, we must remember that that should be lossless decomposition. That means no tuple to be lost during the decomposition. You can see the table is decomposed into two tables, that is EMP employee table and department table. Is it clear that when we decompose the table according to the requirement, the decomposed table does not lose any information or does not lose any tuple from the table. That means when we form a join operation on the decomposed table, then we must get the original table. The original table should contain all the tuple and should contain all the data that are present in the original table. You can see this is the table after joining up the decomposed table, and the original table and the table we get, in both the table the data are matched. That means this will satisfy the lossless join property. Then next we have to know the dependency preserving property. Dependency preserving property means what? When we decompose a relation schema, in the table there must be some dependency or functional dependencies are there, and when we decompose that table, we must sure that if one of the decomposed table must contain the functional dependency of the original table. If that will be happen, then we clear that the decomposition hold the dependency preservation property. Okay, let us discuss on it. It is an important constraint of the database. In dependency preservation, at least one decomposed table must satisfy every dependency. That means one of the table at least contain all the dependencies. If a relation R is decomposed into relation R1 and R2, then the dependency of R either must be a part of R1 or R2. That means what? If there is a relation R containing 3 functional dependencies, right, and the relation R is decomposed into 2 relation schema or 2 table, that is R1 and R2, and we must sure that the 3 dependency must present in R1 or R2, then will the decomposition hold the dependency preservation property, right. Then comes to multi-valued dependency and fourth normal form. So this fourth normal form is based on the property of multi-valued dependency. A fourth normal form is what? The relation is in fourth normal form if it is in third NF or it is in BCNF and there is no multi-valued dependency. So first we have to discuss what is multi-valued dependency. Multi-valued dependency is what? It allows an attribute in a tuple to have set of value. We can see in this example the name, project name and day name, the Smith one tuple that containing 2 value for project name, that is X and Y, and D name also containing BCA and BBA, that means Smith is one tuple having 2 value, that is BCA and BBA. So in this case the multi value is hold because one tuple containing multiple value for other attribute, that means P name attribute contain 2 value for Smith, and similarly D name contain 2 value for the single tuple name attribute, that is for Smooth. So this relation schema is not in fourth NF because the relation schema hold multi-valued property. So now we decompose the relation schema to its fourth NF. So the decomposition became one relation schema contain name and project. You can see how the Smith containing project name X and the Smith containing again project name Y, and again it containing the project name, that is John containing the project Z. Similarly, again the table containing the name field and the department field, the Smith containing the BCA department, Smith containing BBA, and again John containing the attribute MFC and MSW. So this is about your fourth normal form. In this case this name attribute is not functionally determined, the attribute project name and D name, and the D name attribute and project name attribute both are independent with each other. So this relation is not in fourth NF, but after decomposition these relations are in fourth NF. Then we have to know the joint dependency and fifth normal forms. So in case of joint dependency, the relation schema does not need to decompose. Here we have to check the decomposed table. When apply the natural join or any join operation, it will form its original table. Then the joint dependency will be hold. See the example. If a table can be recreated by joining multiple table and each of this table have a subset of attribute of the table, then the table is in joint dependency, and it is generalization of a multi-valued dependency. What is fifth normal form says? A relation is in fifth normal form if it is in 4NF and not contain any joint dependency. This is your joint dependency, and the fifth normal form says it not containing joint dependency, and joining should be lossless. That means when we join this relation R1, R2, R3 and from the original relation, it must satisfy the lossless property, but the relation should not hold any joint dependency, right. So, this is all about your fifth normal form and joint dependency. So, first normal form disallow multi-valued and composite attribute. Second normal form disallows partial dependency. Third normal form disallows transitive dependency. Fourth normal form disallows multi-valued dependency, and fifth normal form disallows the joint dependencies. So, this is all about your functional dependency, normalization and different normal forms. I hope student you get knowledge on functional dependency and normalization. Thank you. Have a nice day.